We are live.
All right. We're out here once again on the highways and the byways, out here to prophesy against this wicked kingdom, which in the Bible is known spiritually as Sodom and Egypt, Mystery Babylon, Nineveh, Idumea, Basra, amongst other things. Contrary to popular belief, America is all throughout the scriptures, man. America is the greatest kingdom on the face of the earth ever, allegedly, right? The greatest empire, allegedly. And the Bible is the greatest book ever written, allegedly, right? So why wouldn't America be documented in the Bible when all these other empires were documented in the Bible? It is documented in the Bible. And guess what? It's documented as the scene of great future judgment. And that day is hastening quickly. America will be nuked. That's the second death, the lake of fire. America being completely engulfed in intercontinental ballistic missiles. I knew there was skedaddle. That's why I said lift up your voice. So anyway, we had a little audience, two little birdies, they skedaddled. That got too hot in the kitchen already. Because again, we're in the highways and the byways, all right? As we were commanded. And we're out here to warn you, okay? But as usual, first and foremost, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to our power. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kwadash. Shalom to you sincere Akim, out there listening, learning, and pushing this truth. And shalom to the few sincere Akwath that are out there listening and learning as well. With that being said, Adawan Watazah, Lord's will, as usual, this will be edifying, exhorting, and comforting to the hopeful elect. Because that's why we labor. As Paul stated, we endure all things for the elect's sake. Okay? So I'm gonna give the brother Zakaria the floor. But first and foremost, what kind of was on my spirit, I'm laying backing off the spirit of the elder brother Yahweh Call. He was over there in Fort Myers. He was going into the history of Florida. Because Florida has a very racist, bloody history. For those of you that don't know, Florida used to be a sundown state. Not a sundown town, it used to be a sundown state. Okay? If you're familiar with the movie Rosewood, that took place in Florida. Which Rosewood was the KKK capital of the United States, which was founded right here in Florida. And matter of fact, we're in the city of Ocoee, Florida. And a lot of people aren't familiar with the history of Ocoee. A major massacre took place in Ocoee, right? And that's what I wanted to harp on, start with. We brought it up before, but since, the brother was going into history, I said, why not? Bring it up again for further edification. For those of you that aren't familiar with the bloody history of Florida. Not the bloody history of America. Because how was America founded? By violence. Rape, robbery, pillaging, oppression. By who? Our chief enemy, Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Whether he was calling himself a Spaniard, whether he was calling himself a Portuguese, the Dutch, he was calling himself a French, or an imperialist, a Brit. He was doing the same thing. They were all following the same play. They were stealing lands.
Yeah.
Talking about Christopher Columbus discovered the New World. How the fuck could Christopher Columbus discover anything when you had indigenous people here? All throughout the Caribbean, all throughout South America, North America, you had people here already. Caribs, Arawaks, Boricuas, Aztecs, Mayans, Incans, Cherokee, Chickasaw, Seminole.
Yep. Facts.
And guess what? Those people that were over here, they were the Israelites. They were a particular nation of people that were over here. Matter of fact, let's start with 2nd Ezra 13. Baba Kashab.
Con. I got one too. Second Ezra 13.
Yeah, let's start there. Because the people that were over here were the Israelites. Moreover, the northern kingdom of Israel. Because the northern kingdom of Israel went into captivity first. Eventually, both kingdoms went into captivity, because that's the history of the Israelites. captivity after captivity after captivity under heathens, other nations. But the northern kingdom went into captivity first. As the brothers like to say, the northern kingdom gets it first, but the southern kingdom gets it the worst. A good example of that right now in the big 2026 is what's going on with the ICE agents. Ice Baby. Who were they targeting first? The northern kingdom. Okay? But we know Esau eventually is going to circle back around to you tribes. You got it?
Yeah, Khan.
Get the point. These were the tribes.
Khan. Second Esdras. No. That's
13. Second Ezra 13.
13 and
Salaki.
Second Esdras 13 and 40. Straight to the point. Those are the 10 tribes.
Go up one verse.
Salaki.
I believe. I could be mistaken, but go. I think.
Yeah, that's fine. It says, and whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away.
What does it say above that?
It says, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts and the torment
What is it?
wherewith.
You can get to the point there.
Yeah, because it's going into the when Yahushua came. And,
Yeah. But go. You got it.
So it reads, Second Esdras chapter 13 and verse
Where you was at? 40, I think.
Khan. I'll start at, you know what, let me just start at 30, up at 37.
Bring it out.
This is Second Esdras chapter 13 and verse 35. It reads, but he shall stand upon the top of the Mount Zion, and Zion shall come and shall be showed to all men, being prepared and builded.
That's the times that we're living in. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is gathering not all of Israel this time. As in the first Exodus, the first deliverance out of ancient Egypt, he's gathering a remnant of Israel in this second Exodus out of modern day Egypt, which is America. That's why on the back of your dollar bill there's a pyramid. A lot of people don't even ask no questions. They just gobble up whatever this devil tells them. Why does America have a pyramid on the back of their dollar bill? Why is there a chief city in America called Memphis in the state of Tennessee, when Memphis was a chief city in Egypt? Because America is Egypt all over again. And what is Egypt known for? Egypt is known for having the Israelites in hardcore bondage. Matter of fact, the word Egypt is synonymous with bondage. And that's what the tribes know. That's the story of an Israelite in America. A so-called black man, a so-called West Indian man, a so-called Haitian man, a so-called Latino man, Hispanic man, North American Seminole Indian. What is their story? Their origin story of America. Captivity, oppression,
Yep.
bondage. Go ahead.
It reads,
You see, Esau wanna just white out, redact that part of history. Oh, get over it. You know? Let bygones be bygones. Forgive and forget. But the Lord don't forget. You never answer for your crimes. Matter of fact, in your judicial system, to this very day, there is no statute of limitation for the crime of murder. If you commit murder 50 years, 100 years down the line and they catch your ass, what they gonna do? They gonna prosecute you to the full extent of the law. To this very day. So who has held you accountable for how you gathered these lands? Nobody. But guess what? God is gonna hold you accountable. And that's what we're waiting on. That's the good news.
that is the good news. It says,
You're gonna pay for your crimes. No more pedophile islands. No more cannibalizing our children. Raping our women, raping our men.
like as thou sawest the hill graven without hand, and this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations.
That's what we doing. Well, how are we doing that? With this word.
This word.
Casting down all imagination.
Yep.
What is this devil's imagination? That he's going to have complete control. He'll be like the Most High. You know?
Yep.
And how is he going to do that? With his crafty enterprise, this new world order. That's why it's on the back of your money. But Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is about to disappoint him. He's disappointing them right now. Upsetting everything this devil does. You know?
Con.
Now in the news, they talking about the tariffs again. That went to the court again. You know?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It reads, real quick, this is Jeremiah.
Now, finish that, Baba, so we can move on.
Con.
And you can
This
get
is,
Jeremiah afterward. Baba Kashak. We didn't even hit the point yet.
This is, it reads, which, it says, and this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, which for their wicked life are fallen into tempest, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts, and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame, and he shall destroy them without labor by the law which is like unto me.
His own counsel shall cast him down. His own counsel is casting him down. Go ahead.
And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him.
That's what Christopher Columbus said when he came to the Americas. And he saw the tribes, man. He said they were a docile nation. He said he could take over all of them with a small army. What he said, I forget exactly what he said.
Yeah.
He's, you know?
Peaceful, peaceable, and trustworthy nation, man.
Because that's the story of the Americas. The Pilgrims, they helped your ass survive the harsh winter.
Yep.
Speaking of cannibalism, Esau was committing cannibalism. His first fucking winter over here.
Facts.
And Gad came over here and taught you how to survive, man. You know? And how did you pay him back? How did you pay him back? Shoved them into reservations, stole their lands, separated their homes, shoved their children into boarding schools, man. You know? Said, don't speak that savage language.
Facts. It reads, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land.
Okay, so like I was saying earlier, because remember, King David, the promise was that the promise that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai told Moses was that we would get the land of the Canaanites, right? But we had to wait until their sins piled up. Then the Lord removed them out of that land. So basically that's what happened. Moses didn't get to see the land because he spoke presumptuously. But Joshua and Caleb and his lot, they went to the land. And eventually you had King David put all the other nations in subjection, you know? And then he passed the reins on to his son, King Solomon, who was Yahweh Shai if you can receive it. And Yahweh Shai had a perfect reign of perfect peace for 40 years. But what happened after that? We fell again. The kingdom was split. Jeroboam and Rehoboam. We went back in, we disobeyed the Lord, went into captivity again. Okay? And eventually we were kicked out of the land of Israel.
Exile.
Jerusalem. But who got kicked out first? The northern kingdom. That's what the brother's reading about. They went into captivity under the Assyrians. It's documented through secular history.
It reads, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoner out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive.
Salmanassar, yep, you can read about him in history. Go ahead.
And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen.
They went into the Babylonian captivity. They went into Babylon, but not modern day Babylon, which is America. They went into ancient Babylon, which would be Iraq. Ancient Babylon is Iraq. You can Google it. Ask ChatGPT. They'll tell you.
Facts. And go forth.
And guess what? Iraq was never completely destroyed. You still got people that live in Iraq. You still got people that go set up tourist visits and shit to Iraq. So that can't be the scene of great future judgment. That's talking about America. America's mystery Babylon. Why? Because it's confusion. The land of confusion. That's what Babylon means. The Hebrew word for Babylon is Babel, which means confusion. And that's what this place is. A big smorgasbord of slop and confusion. Women ruling over men. You know, children ruling over, you know, parents. You could change them. All form of madness is found right here in America. You want to find some folly? Come to America. Go ahead.
It says, and go forth into a further country.
So they were carried into captivity under the Assyrians. They went into the Babylonian captivity. But then they took it upon themselves to say, well, you know what? We're going to leave this land and we're going to go further. And matter of fact, they took the path and came down around the south of Africa and came up that way, which is going to tell you the Lord had to hold the winds back, because that's a very turbulent trade winds that go that way. It's very dangerous going around the Horn of Africa. But the Lord calmed the storm so they could go that way. That's how they came to the Americas. Go ahead.
And go forth into a further country
The
where
north.
never mankind dwelt.
The new world. Because the old world started in the east. The new world is what? The west. And we the furthest west you can get.
That they might there keep their statutes, which they
That's
never.
why Arthur Koestler that wrote the 13th tribe, which basically the 13th tribe, he said that for Esau to be an Israelite, there would have to be a 13th tribe, which there are only 12 tribes. He can't be an Israelite. He's a Hebrew, but he's a Hebrew Edomite. Same mother, same father, but the birthright didn't go to. He's his own nation.
Khan.
Okay.
Shemitic.
He's Shemitic, yeah. But a lot of nations are Shemitic.
Khan.
A lot of nations came out of Shem. Elam, which are the so-called Indians, the dot heads. You got Moab, Ammon, the Chinese and the Japanese. They come from Lot, the daughters of Lot, an incestuous relationship. You got Esau and Jacob. We come from Shem. Okay? But the birthright went to a particular seed. Abraham, Isaac, and then Jacob. And we are the descendants of Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel after he wrestled the angel.
It reads, that they might keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
That's why I referenced that book, The 13th Tribe, because if you read it, he came to the conclusion that the North American Indians had to be descendants of the Israelites. Why? Because they kept a lot of the customs and traditions of the Israelites. Same thing with the Latin tribes. Why do you think they wear fringes on their garments?
Yep.
Because it was in the law. Hey, the Gadites, they like to mock them when they get high and do the chant, Yahweh. They're saying the Heavenly Father's name, Yahweh. Yahweh. That's what they're saying. And he came to that conclusion. Matter of fact, I think they had certain brothers know better than me, but they had the name of the Lord etched in on certain stones and shit in the Paleo Hebrew. So the evidence is overwhelming. You know?
Yeah. It reads, and they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow place of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over.
That's the path that they took. They came down the Euphrates and came down, and they came down the Horn of Africa and came up around to the Caribbean and all that shit, you know. They probably landed in Latin America, in South America first.
That's a trip and a half right there, boy.
They probably
Shit.
I gotta go back through the history, but they probably landed in South America first. Hit the islands.
Come around, yeah.
Yeah.
That would make
And then work their way up to North America.
It definitely would make sense. It reads.
And guess what? America was a paradise before Esau got their filthy hands on it. Look at it now. Look at how dull and lifeless this place is. We had a lake. Everything looks fucking brown and dead. Lifeless. That's not how America was when the Edomites first came over here. It was a paradise. Lustrous. From South America all the way up to Canada. You still see remnants of it where Esau hasn't, you know, put his grubby hands on. You go up to like Canada, it's still beautiful. Certain parts of South America,
Where he hasn't infected
certain
it.
parts of America where he hasn't, you know,
Infected it, con. It says,
it was lush. You know how many trees this devil cut down? Remember, King Solomon would send fleets over here to get the gold. My bad,
Yeah.
Salakia.
it says, for though that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half.
That's how long the journey took by boat. To go from the old world to the new world. And that's why Christopher Columbus knew where he was going. He wasn't just going, he knew where he was going. That's why on this boat he had Hebrew interpreters, man. Matter of fact, he was reading the book of Ezra. He was reading the same thing we reading.
Fact.
2nd Ezra 13.
It reads,
And he barely made it. They were about to commit mutiny, toss his ass overboard.
yeah.
But just like the Lord made a way and a sign for the Israelites, the Northern Kingdom, he did the same thing for Christopher Columbus. He called it St. Elmo's fire. What's St. Elmo's fire? He saw a giant chariot. Right when they were about to shove his ass overboard, he was like, look, St. Elmo's fire. That's the way, that's the way.
Uh-huh.
You know?
For real. It says, for though that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called
Ashereth.
Ashereth. Then dwelt they there until the latter time.
We're in the latter times. They're there to this day. But guess what? Now all 12 tribes are here.
Yep.
Matter of fact, that's the point.
Yep.
That's the point. I was going. You know what I want already. You should know. You had something, Jeremiah. You said you was holding something.
Yeah. What was that? Well, I mean, the point kind of passed, but I'm gonna bring it out. I'm gonna bring it out because the brother had just touched on earlier in 2nd Ezra the 13th chapter when he was going into how the Heavenly Father is using his men and these words to bring about the destruction of this empire. So real quick, this is just Jeremiah 5 and verse 14.
Before you do that, then let me, and then you got it back. So
Yeah, you got it.
Because you sound like you're changing the spirit. So, not changing it, but shifting, downshifting. So, this is Jeremiah chapter 50. That's what I thought you was gonna get. And Jeremiah 50, and the main point is in 33. Let me see. Yeah, Jeremiah 50 and 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the Lord of armies, the children of Israel, Yasharallah, and the children of Judah, Yahweh. So, with further understanding, Israel is talking about the northern kingdom, and Judah would be talking about the southern kingdom. Because the southern kingdom, who the small hats call the Jews, is not just one tribe. The southern kingdom is comprised of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. that they would make the northern kingdom. They were the ones that were left in the land of Jerusalem after the northern kingdom were led into captivity. But what eventually happened to the southern kingdom? The southern kingdom also went into captivity. They also got oppressed. They eventually got kicked out of that land. And who oppressed them? You know them as Romans. You can read that. We can read about that in the history also. The besiege of Jerusalem by the Romans. That happened around 68, 69, 70 AD. Who was in power when Yahushua HaMashiach, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, was crucified? What nation was in power? Wasn't the Israelites?
Definitely was.
They had to pay tributary to the Romans, the taxes. They were disputing that.
Yep.
Herod, Pontius Pilate, they were Romans. So eventually the Romans besieged Jerusalem. They put a what you call a blockade, what's another word? Help me out. A blockade, a trench, an embargo. They put, nothing was allowed to come in and out of Jerusalem.
They surrounded it and stopped everything. Khan.
Nothing was allowed to come in or out. And what happened in Jerusalem? They eventually committed the act of cannibalism. You can read about that in the book of Maccabees.
Mm-hmm.
But what did the elect of Israel do that took heed to what Yahushua said? Because Yahushua warned them about them days. He told them to flee.
Yep.
And where did they flee? The elect of Israel. They fled the diaspora. They fled all over, chiefly to the west coast of Africa. But they fled all over. They fled to Europe, different parts of Europe. They fled all over.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But eventually this devil still got us. You can't escape these curses. You can't escape judgment. You know?
You can't. Real quick, this is Matthew chapter 11 and verse 12. And it reads, and from the...
Kind of out of the frame, Mark. Come over some, Mark.
And from the...
Yeah, you kind of... Yeah.
Con. It says, and from the... Matthew 11 and verse 12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now...
Your pa scripture. Read that, call it, and read it again.
Con, this is Matthew chapter 11 and verse 12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now...
John the Baptist was on the scene over 2,500 years ago. He was beheaded. Who beheaded him? Was it some Chinese people that beheaded him?
Nah.
Was it some Arabs? No, they were white people.
Yes.
Romans.
The Romans.
That
Yep.
I forget her name. That bitch said she wanted his head on a fucking plate.
Con.
And her husband said, all right.
Yep.
Matter of fact, most of the disciples were put to death. The only one that escaped was John the Revelator. But he was in prison for the words of Yahushua HaMashiach. So I got a question. If God is good, if Jesus is love, if his message is love, why the hell did the Romans want to put him to death?
Mm-hmm.
If he was preaching love, love, love.
So far from love.
Yeah, love for the Israelites
Uh-huh.
and judgment for the other nations.
It was Jeremiah 28 and 8, man. It says, Matthew chapter 11 and verse 12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now,
Until this very day.
the
Because
kingdom...
again, the Bible is a top-selling book. Why is it the top-selling book? For decades, for centuries. Because it's the only prophetic book in the world. It's the only book that contains prophecies. What is a prophecy? Something that is shortly to take place.
Mm-hmm.
So the Bible is filled with things that have taken place in the past, things that are taking place as we speak, and things that are shortly to come. If everything written in the Bible that in the past took place already, and the things that for now are playing out as it is written, why wouldn't you believe the few scriptures that are left that haven't manifested yet? If everything else that the Bible contains came to pass, why wouldn't you believe the end of the story? If the beginning of the story took place, the middle of the story took place, now we at the end, you don't want to believe the end of the book. The whole book is good, but I don't like the ending.
Yeah, and it's been 100%
You got to be a
accurate.
goddamn fool. Which most of these people are fools. They're destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Ignorant. Yep.
They're drunk on Esau's ways. They think they're smart because they got degrees and shit. I got a PhD.
See what that in the degrees end up.
All having a degree shows is that you can follow orders, man. Like a good servant, like a good slave, like a good old boy.
Fact.
Yes, sir. I could sit down for 12 years, massa, and retain everything you taught me. You told me, which is a bunch of garbage. Regurgitate your slop to the masses. your science so falsely called,
The wisdom of this world.
which is foolishness in the sight of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And you see it.
Khan.
Salakia, my bad. Go
It
ahead.
says,
Again, Matthew 11.
Khan.
From the time of what?
Matthew 11 and verse 12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now,
Until now.
the kingdom of heaven.
Hold on. Didn't Yahweh Shai say the kingdom of heaven is within you?
Khan.
He said the kingdom of heaven doesn't come with observation. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Why? Because we are the kingdom of heaven. The people make up the city. The citizens make the city, man.
Yep. Yep. Lively stones, man. It says, until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence.
Suffereth what?
Violence.
Woo! What happened in 68, 69, 70 AD? That was very violent. That was very bloody. That was horrific. What happened in the transatlantic slave trade? Guess what? That was heinous. Very violent, very bloody. What's happening to this very day? It's very bloody and violent. That's what the Lord said. Read it again.
It reads, and from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force.
Who's the violent? Who's the violent? Who's taking shit by force?
Yep.
Who
Hey.
just went over there that nobody's even talking about Maduro anymore? This man went over there and kidnapped a sitting president and his wife. Nobody even says a word about it anymore.
Yeah.
This dude is still out there whacking fishermen.
Yep.
No trial, no investigation, no evidence. Why? Over resources.
Yep.
What they ask this devil? What you gonna do with all the oil, Trump? I guess we gonna just take it. That's his MO. That's his modus operandi. If he sees something, that's what the white man does. If he sees something and he want it, he gonna take it. He ain't gonna ask you. He gonna take it by the sword. He wants your bitch, he gonna take it. He wants your child, he gonna take it. And what you gonna do to stop him? Who you gonna call? DCF? Child Protective Services? They work for this devil.
Yeah. Yeah.
They gonna take your child from you. They gonna hide him in the goddamn foster care program. Give him to two goddamn sodomites are gonna adopt him. Turn him out.
Is this proven?
It's funny, but that's the reality of the world that we lived in.
That is the reality.
All because you left Pookie home with Ray Ray because your ass had to work a double.
Couldn't afford a babysitter.
Because he cut your goddamn food stamps. He cut you off Section 8. Now you got to work overtime and shit. But you can't afford a babysitter. But this man is such a devil. What did he do? Now he come and take your child from you.
Yep. Between a rock and a hard place, man. And that's and Yahweh Shah HaMashiach was speaking of the Roman Empire at this time, and we know that America is nothing more than the revised Roman Empire.
Rome 2.0.
Rome 2.0.
Matter of fact, last year it went viral that the average white man thinks about the fall of the Roman Empire multiple times during the week.
Yeah.
Why do they think about the fall of the Roman Empire so much? Why is it way heavy on their mind? Because we're in Rome all over again. The parallels to America in the Roman Empire are uncanny,
Facts.
unprecedented.
Facts.
And guess what? Just like how Rome fell, America's falling all over again the same way. They're spread thin, militarily, too many military campaigns. That's one of the downfalls of the Roman Empire. Oh, the cheapening of their money. The gold, the denarius. Ain't that what's happening to the dollar? Why is everything skyrocketing? Why is the average car now 50,000, 60,000? Why is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the dollar's losing its strength. The dollar's losing its value. That same dollar ain't going as long as it used to. Why? Because all throughout the world, people are losing confidence in America. America's circling the drain. And all these nations see it.
Yeah.
And what are they doing? They're trying to make, establish a counter to the dollar.
Mechanisms.
They're to the U.S. To the U.S. That's what the BRICS is about. Russia, Iran, China, these Latin countries, they're trying to find a workaround to the dollar. And what's happening now? Some of because America, the dollar is strong because of debt, man. A lot of these nations, they acquire debt, man, through the U.S. treasuries. Their bonds, the 10-year bonds, 5-year bonds, that's all debt, man.
Yeah.
But now what are these nations doing? Like China. China's one of America's biggest debt holder. Japan, another one. What are they doing now? They're cashing in their U.S. treasuries early.
Yeah. The writing is on the wall, man. The writing is on the wall.
So I kind of took over to that. Slocky, bro. You can't help it.
No, you good. Like you were saying, the writing is on the wall.
Many tickle. You've been wanted, weighed, and found in the balance.
And finishing off Matthew 11 and 12, it says, and the violent take it by force. Okay? The violent take it by force. All right? And we know who that evil man is, who that violent man is. Okay? That red horse in Revelations that came to take peace from the earth. Okay?
I get it. Matter of fact, the brother quoted it. This is Revelation chapter 6, verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and that's another Blues Clues, as we like to as we like to say. Okay? Who else was red? Okay, in the scriptures. As far as the description, Esau, Edom, man. The so-called self-proclaimed white man. Because no one is actually white and no one is actually black. They're pinkish red because their blood shows forth through their skin. And no one is black. They're different shades of brown. And that's the honest to God truth. All right, so that red horse, man. Okay, and how does he take peace from the earth?
I didn't finish it.
You got it.
And there went out another horse that was red. And horse represents power. Like that's how they measure the power of an engine. Horsepower.
Yep.
How many horses does this chariot, because that's what a car is. It's a modern day chariot. Because there's no new thing under the sun. Nothing new. So that's how the power of a modern day chariot, they equivalent to how many horses it would be.
Yep.
So again, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him. Matter of fact, gotta go to Job.
God.
Real quick, we're cooking, brother. For those that
Making
are new.
that stew.
This is Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given, speak on it. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right? So the wicked would be in charge of the earth. The wicked would have dominion, rule, and be in charge of making laws, amending laws. All right?
Yeah. Who's in charge of the earth? Nobody wants to talk about that.
Yeah.
Why is the earth out of course?
Yep.
Why is there so much wickedness in the world? Crimes. Why is everybody oppressed? Why is everybody miserable? Why is everybody mourning? as it is written in Proverbs, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Why is everybody mourning? Why is everybody depressed? Why all these people on opioids, uppers and downers? Why are so many people committing suicide? Because of how the earth is being governed. You're being squeezed to the very last drop. And who's doing the squeezing? Who benefits from all your hard labor? As a brother was going into up here, he met this old lady. She was 83 years old and still had to fucking work.
Facts.
Why are all these people being kicked out of nursing homes?
Yep.
Who's to be blamed? Who's in charge? Who prints the money? Who makes the laws? Who amends the laws? Who has the power to enforce the laws? Not us. We got no leaders. We got no monetary might.
Facts. All facts.
So who's in charge? Who's to be blamed?
Yep.
Rhetorical question. He who controls the money controls the people. Was I speaking? You speaking?
You were Revelations.
So
You going into
Job
the
9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
Right, and he covered the faces of the true judges with which is our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. And
Done.
in place he put up what?
Himself.
His own image.
Yep. I am God. I am the Most High. That's what he says.
Yep.
It's my way or the highway.
Khan.
I said the earth was established randomly.
Big.
It was a big bang, an act of random events.
Exactly.
Darwinism, all this other garbage.
Evolution.
Evolution.
Yeah.
If evolution is real, why the fuck did man stop evolving? Look like man is devolving.
Yeah, they definitely devolved.
Oh, we gonna evolve to machine.
Half man, half amazing.
Cyborgs.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the ultimate evolvement of man. Man merged with machine.
Yeah, and that's what they want. That's
why? Because he's a carnal man.
That's why if the Lord didn't shorten the time, there'd be no flesh saved. Because this man is a madman. He's a madman.
Dr. Kevorkian on the Isle of Dr. Monroe, whatever.
God.
You remember?
Yeah.
All the animals, he's experimenting on the animals and shit so he can control them.
Yeah.
We the animals. So it says, the earth, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? A good example of him covering the faces of the judges, this devil calls himself a God-fearing man. He said this is a God-fearing nation.
Yeah.
He puts it on the back of his fucking money. In God we trust. It's on the back of some of these Floridian plates. In God we trust. So if you trust in God, if we go to court, you make a swear in the Bible, why don't you uphold the laws of the Bible, man?
Yep.
I thought you trust in God.
Wait, didn't Trump just say we're going to go back to being a God-fearing country? We're going to go back to being a God-fearing country and trying to follow the laws of God? Isn't that what the president just said?
Did you say you was going to bring a prayer back in church? You going to bring back the 10 Commandments and shit? How's that working out for you? You being met with a lot of resistance, aren't you?
Yeah.
Why? Because these people are wicked.
Yeah. But what does the scripture say?
And they lack accountability. They don't want to be held accountable for their ways. They don't want to stop being sodomites, adulterers, whoremongers, idolaters. They love it. That's why they love America.
Yeah.
That's really why everybody wants to come to America, because in their lands it's too restrictive.
Yeah.
I could come to America and let loose. I could be a whole demon here and ain't nobody gonna look at me sideways. I could just go about my life,
That's what it is.
I could dress like a furry. I could go to work every day like a furry. Ain't nobody gonna say shit to me. I'm gonna get employed in a month.
Yeah. But hey, Ecclesiastes 10, man. As the judges and the rulers are, so are the people. And you people elected a president that's indicted on like 34 counts, man.
He's a pedophile.
He's a criminal. He's a pedophile.
He's all in the Epstein files, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dog
Dog
chimed
had to
in.
chime in.
The dog said, hell yeah. Hey, look, 3 birds. Look at that. Look. You can't make it up. Look at that.
Oh, con.
You can't make it up.
Those big stork-looking ones.
With signs following.
Yep. No lies being told.
This is Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers. Who are the watchers? We're the watchers.
Yep.
The prophets of the Lord. We're watching. And we watching everything. We watching geopolitics. We watching the economy. We watching you people. And we filtering everything through the scriptures.
Yep.
And we see what times we're in. We're in a time of great judgment.
Habakkuk, man. Times of great judgment, con.
This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men.
Yeah. The basis of men is set up over the earth. Okay? The brother just read Job 9:24, stating that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and these base men are doing base men things.
God,
All right?
what would you expect them to do? What if a degenerate took power? Wouldn't you just expect them to do degenerate shit?
Exactly.
As the brother likes to read, can the Ethiopian change his skin? Can a leopard his spots? How then can thou do good that is accustomed to doing evil? Since Esau Edom came into power, that's all he's known.
Yeah.
He's a one-trick pony, as the brother Zachariah likes to say. Matter of fact, I'll get Maccabees.
And this is exactly why the kingdom is going to be translated. All right? Because of this man's actions. This is Ecclesiastes 10 and 8.
You got that one? You saying
it says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. And the brother touched on that.
We didn't even get into it. Yeah, I didn't even get into the history of Okoye. With the water coming back full circle.
Coming back full circle. He touched on how the indigenous people were tricked, raped, and robbed out of their resources, out of their land. You know, how this devil made extinct their main source of meat, man. Okay, buffalo.
Yeah, they made sport of it. When they were building the transcontinental railroads, they have a whole series on it called Hell on High. Was it Hell on High Wheels or something like that?
It's something along those lines.
It's a very good show. It shows you what was going on when they were building the railroads. How they were taking North American Indian land to build the fucking railroads.
Yep.
Doing all type of skullduggery, man.
You know?
Another good movie showing you this devil's MO, his modus operandi, is The Killer of Flower Moon. With Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro. Showed you how they were taking those North American Indians' land in Oklahoma when he found out that there was oil on the land.
Yep.
He would marry their wives, you know, do all type of skullduggery, man.
Yep.
The dog got chime. He had to put him up. He couldn't control himself. Look at it. He want to be with us. He's like, give me free.
For real.
He's about to jump out the goddamn window.
It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries.
How did you get this land? That's from Hell on High Waters, that series. The guy that was building the railroads, he wanted to have a sit down with the chief. He wanted to have a powwow, you know?
Yeah.
And trying to give him treaties and shit, work out a deal with him. He was like, I ain't signing nothing, man. He said, this is my land. I was here first.
Exactly.
He said, how did you get this land? He said, did you trade for it? Did you barter for it? How'd you get this land? You stole it. By the force of the sword.
Yep.
And every year, you goddamn zombies celebrate how he got this land. Call it Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving.
Every year.
Oh, Jesus, I'm thankful to American. I'm thankful I could be a slave
Every year.
and you go around the goddamn table and ask me, what are you thankful for, honey? I'm thankful for this overtime I got this year. Salakia.
Oh,
You gotta have fun with this. You done or you got some more?
I got a little bit more. It says, and the irony is that this devil, your boy Trump,
And the word devil, for those of you that don't know, means deceiver. And that's what the white man is. He's the greatest deceiver.
yep,
The greatest deception is that he's righteous.
yeah,
How,
hey,
Sway?
yeah, hey,
All that goddamn blood on your hands.
I just was thinking about the board of peace that Trump just came up with. The board of peace. This board of peace that was supposed to bring a certain amount of nations together so that they can go over the whole Gaza situation.
He won the Nobel Peace Prize, bro.
Hey, this is how devilish this man is. Real quick, it says
Meanwhile, he doing coups in Venezuela and shit.
exactly.
He want peace. He
Exactly.
threatening Colombia. He threatening Cuba. Threatening Mexico. Threatening Canada. But you want the Nobel Peace Prize.
That's how the Heavenly Father. That's why the Heavenly Father has lifted this man's skirt, man, and showing you how devilish he really is. And the nations aren't falling for it anymore.
Nope.
So it says, real quick, it says the Board of Peace is an international organization with the stated purpose of promoting peacekeeping around the world.
Let's clean that up. It's an Edomite organization.
It says, established by Donald Trump and led by the government of the United States, the board is named in United Nations Security Council Resolution 2803 as a body tasked with overseeing the process of the Gaza peace plan. Okay? That's their job. All right? It says the Board of Peace was proposed in September 2025 and formally established on the sideline of the 56th World Economic Forum. But the point of the matter is that a lot of nations, okay, rejected to join. All right? So under the guise of peace, under the guise of righteous judgment and rulership on trying to do things that's right, this damn devil steals land. Because the Palestinians aren't going to get that land back. All right?
Hey, Bibi said he don't want no two-state system.
Thank you.
He don't want two states.
He don't want two states.
He want all that land, man.
Exactly. So that was just a further example.
Matter of fact, wasn't it last year, like the end of last year, some of them nations said they wanted to go back and uphold the old boundaries?
Con.
You know?
Yep. So it says, I'll finish this out real quick.
You want to establish peace in Gaza. Meanwhile, you over there committing a goddamn genocide.
A genocide. It says, Ecclesiasticus 10 and verse 8, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And that's what's taking place, man. We're witnessing the translation of this empire being taken out of the hands of the wicked. And ultimately what? Giving it to the hands of the Lord's chosen people, man. Simple as that. That's how we know that things are going to continue to what? To worsen. To get worse and worse and worse. You got it all. Worse and worse and worse.
This is 1 Maccabees chapter 1. The main point is going to be verse 9. I'll start at 1. Because again, the Bible is, not only is it a prophetic book, but it's a history book. The Bible is secularly accurate. It lines up with history. First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1. And it happened after that, that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece.
Yep. The first over Greece. All right. And what was he? What was his nationality? An Edomite.
So that Alexander, for those of you that don't know, is talking about who these Edomites, anybody that's been in the military, they're going to praise Alexander. They call him Alexander the Great. Or another title for him is Alexander the Conqueror.
Khan.
And what was Alexander's claim to fame? Taking over the known world at the time, not the new world, the old world, but the known world at the time in lightning speed. 12 years it took him.
Yep.
That's what we're reading about. The establishment of the Greek Empire. And guess what? You're living in the tail end of the Greek Empire. You're living in the tail end of you're living in a Greco-Roman society. Again, you're living in Rome all over again. See, a lot of people have the conception that, oh, Rome was just white people. No, Rome was just like America. It was a melting pot. They get it from the Greeks. You could assimilate to Greek-Roman culture. What's the saying? When in Rome, do as the Romans.
Do as the Romans.
That's what their whole campaign was. Get down and lay down. You join us or we're going to destroy you.
Yep.
You join us, you assimilate. You know, we might let you keep some of your custom traditions. We might not. You know?
Yep.
And that's what I'm reading about. So it says, again, First Maccabees chapter 1 and 1. And it happened after that, that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius. You can read about Darius in history.
Yep.
You can read about the Medo-Persian Empire and their fall. That he reigned in his stead the first over Greece and made many wars. That red horse.
Yep.
And won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth, the other nations, and went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him.
Woo. That's a lot of rape, robbery, and murder. That's a lot of killing. A lot of deleting.
Matter of fact, I'll come back to that because we're gonna bring out this Ocoee massacre real quick. Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to him that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
Yep. At their World Economic Forums, okay, at their summits, these elites get together, okay?
These Davos meetings,
These Davoses,
Bilderberg meetings, these G7, G20, all these summit meetings. What do you think they're talking about? No, they're talking about how to stop world hunger, right? Right?
Yeah, that's what they're having discussions on.
How to give people free electricity, free water,
Exactly.
free internet, right? Yeah, right. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. I'll give you a good example. Old Bill Gates. What is Bill Gates known for doing in the 2000s now? He buying up all the land.
Farmland, specifically. Yep.
But in the next breath, he talking about eating fucking what they call it, lab-grown meats.
Lab-grown meats. Yep. Yep.
Fake foods. But
These guys, they did it.
it's in his power to do that. He can do that.
Yeah.
He got all the time, energy, and resources
you off in the middle of your speech.
You got it.
Nah, man, you gotta be a goddamn devil, man, to put lead in toothpaste, to put all these cancer-causing chemicals in body washes, in soaps. Nothing is what it seems, man.
Your water's polluted.
The fucking
Your
water's
water
polluted.
is filled with BPAs, forever chemicals. You
Jesus.
think you're doing something taking a bath. You what?
And this devil knows.
Have you not heard about Flint, Michigan?
This man is the fucking devil, man. Your skin, man. That's the biggest. You know, your skin is a living, breathing.
Your skin, your epidermal, is the largest organ in your body.
Con.
Your skin is an organ. That's why when you see people with bad skin, you know something's wrong inside.
Con. And all these chemicals, man, absorb almost instantaneous through the skin. That's why there's a rise in cancer. That's why there's a rise in everything, man.
Breathing in poisons, you bathing in poisons, you eating poisons, you drinking poisons, you wearing poison.
Con. Your dish detergent,
And it's
cancer
all
causing.
by design.
It's amazing that people are still alive, man.
They're alive to receive this judgment.
Con.
Reserved for the day of judgment.
Yep, you got it.
So again, Micah 2:1, and it's all design. It's all by design. They got scientists that go in labs and do all types of experiments for this, man.
Yeah. Bro, they're talking about bringing back asbestos. They're talking about reusing asbestos, man.
Which asbestos was all in them projects, man.
Yep.
If you grew up in a project, you grew up in Section 8 housing, guess what? Your walls were fucking lined with lead, and the ceiling, that popcorn ceiling, was asbestos, man.
Yep. This devil was
And
talking
they knew
about
it
bringing
from
it
day one.
back.
It's not like they didn't know.
Of course. Just like Agent Orange. Man, if y'all people really just understood how wicked this man was, man.
They
Yeah.
do know, but they don't care. They love to have it so. It's no excuse now. Like I said,
Yeah.
Epstein show you.
Yeah.
It's no excuse. Don't nobody want to talk about that. Before they would laugh at you. Oh, you're a conspiracy nut. What do you mean they're kidnapping children and raping them and having sex slaves and shit in their basements? You would laugh at us, man. We telling you they putting fucking children in these fast food burgers and shit.
Yep.
And Happy Meals and shit. It's filled with fucking children. You laughed at us, man. Who's laughing now? Not you. You just want to sweep it under the rug. You don't want to address the elephant in the room. 144, the dog chiming like a motherfucker.
Yeah, he is. Call her.
So it says, and they covet fields and take them by violence,
Yeah. Yeah.
and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
Right. And these people are tired of being fucking oppressed, man. All right? The people in general are tired of being oppressed. These Iranians, they not finna be oppressed.
But not Jake. Jake love being oppressed.
Come.
Jake is a homeborn slave.
A homeborn slave.
Why is he spoiled?
And don't have a pot to piss in.
Master sick, we sick. Master can't go to heaven. I don't want to go to heaven.
You gonna let him sleep in the big house? Oh man. This is this is the end, man. This has to be the end. All right? Like I said, these nations are tired of being oppressed. These nations are tired of Esau Edom coming into their land, stealing their resources, poisoning their people. They're tired. They're between a rock and a hard place, man.
I'm tired, boss.
Yeah. They tired. They tired. But now what? Now they have the firepower. They have the arsenal. They have the backing of the bear. Okay? To fight back. And that's what we're witnessing, man. We're witnessing this man whose blessing, which I'm holding, was the sword, to go with what the brother was reading about, that red horse that took peace from the earth. These precepts all line up. They all line up. But this devil is getting ready to be put down for all the fucking wickedness he's been doing. You got it, Op. He's getting ready to be put down through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, man. Prophecy is falling right in line. Right in line. Finish reading what you had?
So I'm going to come back to Micah. Jump back to Maccabees. Going back to 1 Maccabees 1, and I'll start at 1 again. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece, and made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth, and went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him. Whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up. And he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries and nations and kings, who became tributaries unto him. Ain't that what DJ Trump was saying about NATO and the EU? They're not paying their fair share?
Yep.
And he gathered, and after these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die, which you can find out in secular history, all facts, factual. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. So Alexander reigned 12 years, and then died. And his servants bare rule, every one in his place. And it's all factual. You had I always mess up. You had the Cassandra, Lacedaemon, Ptolemy. I forget. There was 4 chief generals. It was more than 4, but he ain't helping me out. He on his phone. It was 4 chief generals. All right.
Yeah, I got you.
And you know, it don't matter. It's all we ain't get into that. It's all facts. You can check it out. I ain't get into it right. I ain't about to scratch my brain. It doesn't matter. So it says, and his servants bear rule, every one in his place. That's the point. It's the main point. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years. It's the main point. And evils were multiplied in the earth. That's the point.
Yep.
So it starts with the Greeks. It was an evil, wicked-ass empire. Same thing with the Romans. Same thing right now.
No different.
Because they're the same people. No new thing under the sun. You keep coming back in your lot.
Yep.
Esau keeps coming back in his lot. So going back to Micah 2 and 3. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, look, against this family. What's another word for family? Nation.
Nation. Yep.
House. Tribe. People. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. So we're in a time of evil, bad times.
Bad times.
The judgment of Yasharallah and the judgment of Esau, Edom, and these other nations. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai is holding the wicked accountable. You gonna say something?
Nah, that's an absolute fact.
That you got it.
Yeah. To the brother's point, it was Ptolemy, and he said Cassandra. If I'm pronouncing it right, Seleucus, and Antigonus. Antiochus. Antiochus.
Antiochus Epiphanes.
Khan. Yep, the 4 generals, man.
It was more than 4, but four chief generals.
Yep.
4 primary generals. And it really was only two, because it came down to the king of the north and the king of the south. You had Ptolemy, which was in the south, which was in Egypt. He took over Egypt. That's where Cleopatra, her lineage, her line comes from the Ptolemaic dynasty. And then you had the king of the north, which was who was that? I forget. I think it might have been Cassandra. I don't remember. But the king of the north, I gotta go back through that history, man.
Yeah, but the Heavenly Father told you in Proverbs not to remove the ancient landmarks,
Yeah, I had
man.
those too.
All right.
Unless you had some, let me read the.
No, you got it. You got it. Yeah.
So let's we went all over the place, but let's go to Wikipedia, because again we're in Ocoee, and a lot of people don't know the history of Ocoee. They don't know the history of Florida, so it's a lot. Jump in as you. I'm gonna take my time and read it. It's a lot. Jump in as you feel.
Con.
This is the Ocoee Massacre. The Ocoee Massacre was an act of mass racial violence in November 1920 that saw a white mob attack African American residents in the northern parts of Ocoee, Florida, a town located in Orange County near Orlando. Ocoee was the home to 255 African Americans and 560 white residents, according to the 1920 census. The massacre took place on November 2nd, the day of the U.S. presidential election,
Yep.
leaving a lasting impact. The 1930 census showed that 1,180 whites, 11 Native Americans, and 2 African Americans. So they killed everybody, bro.
Con.
From 1920 to 1930, there was only two blacks left. That's crazy. And Esau doubled, because it was 560 whites in 1920, and in 1930 it was 1,180 of them.
Dang.
It was 255 blacks, right, in 1920. Fast forward 10 years later, there was only 2,
Damn.
and 11 Gadites.
All over, I think it was one in the vote. That's
Let me
crazy.
read it.
Salakia.
By most estimates, a total of 30 to 80 black people were killed during what has been considered the single bloodiest day in modern American political history. So
Man.
why isn't this well known, well documented?
Jesus.
Again, by most estimates, a total of 30 to 80 black people were killed during what has been considered the single bloodiest day in modern American political history. Most African American owned buildings and residences in northern Ocoee were burned to the ground. Don't that sound familiar? Doesn't that remind you of Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma? Again, Killers of the Flower Moon. That took place in Oklahoma. Because that's Esau's modus operandi.
Yep. Facts.
He was doing that shit all over the Americas when Jake was trying to establish themselves.
Facts.
Jake think they stumbled onto something new. Let's build black communities. We tried that already, dumbass. We tried it over and over, and every time we did, this devil came and destroyed us. Because he's a jealous demon. He doesn't like to see Jake thrive and be prosperous. He likes to see you in the traps, the barrios, the ghettos, the slums. He likes to see you in a lowly state. He don't want to see you over him.
Because he knows you're lighter in. Real quick, to your point.
Because it's his fucking kingdom. This ain't your kingdom. He didn't build America for you.
Ah, that blessing.
That was never in his. He brought you over here to build this bitch up.
Yeah. He know that he got the shit end of the stick on that blessing. Real quick, to go with the brother's article. Nahum chapter 3 and verse 1.
I had that
Woe
too.
to the bloody city.
I was gonna hold on.
Oh, Salakia, go ahead.
Well, we're gonna get back into the precepts.
Khan, you got it.
But it's a lot. When again, the brother y'all will call sparked it. We've talked about it multiple times. But I said, what perfect time to bring it back up again. You know? It's Black History Month, ain't it? Ain't we in Black History Month? It's Black History. So again, most African Americans, it's on Wikipedia, Ocoee Massacre happened in 1920, November 1920. Most African American owned buildings and residences in northern Ocoee were burned to the ground. Other African Americans living in southern Ocoee were later killed or driven out of town by the threat of further violence being used against them. Thus, Ocoee essentially became an all-white or sundown town.
Jesus.
It is believed that the attack was intended to prevent black citizens from voting. It's two theories, which is going to mention both theories. One's a lie, one's the truth. I'll let you figure out which one is the truth. Poll taxes had been imposed as de facto disenfranchisement in Florida since the beginning of the 20th century. In Ocoee and across the state, various black organizations had been conducting voter registration drives for a year. Those who registered to vote registered almost exclusively as Republicans because blacks were not permitted to join the all-white Democratic Party. So a lot of Jake don't even realize when you first were allowed to vote, you had to vote Republican. Like you got these Hodge twins. I'm a black conservative. You know? What's the other bitch? Help me out.
Candace Owens.
Candace Owens. Like that's some new shit. There's no new thing under the sun, dumbass. When you first were allowed to vote, you had to vote Republican. A lot of people don't know that. Shout out to Big Ward. He knew that. Big Ward, genius, a genius. You know? You weren't allowed to vote Democratic, dumbass. So it's funny. A prevailing theory is that the riot and massacre were not caused by white opposition to black voting rights. That's the truth. Instead, it is believed, because your vote don't count. It never did. It was all bullshit. So they wouldn't, you know. So it says, instead, it is believed that the Ocoee massacre was fueled by the false rumor that 2 black men killed 2 white men who had been acting in the capacity of law enforcement. The initial targets of the attack were both prosperous black men.
Mm-hmm.
So when you put 2 and 2 together, you realize 2 Edomites probably killed two Jakes, man.
Mm-hmm.
That were well-to-do.
That's what happened. That's exactly what happened.
So it says, in the South, black wealth fueled economic jealousy among white communities and was a common cause of lynchings and violence against blacks. You know they still lynching niggas to this very day? And it goes unreported, undocumented in mainstream media. All throughout social media, you see Jake still getting lynched. Every month, every week, they still lynching Jake, man.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, where we teach at downtown Orlando, they put a fucking swastika on the tree.
Yep.
In the big 2025.
26 now.
Yeah. So it says, but now that we know the history, you're gonna find out some of the people that took part in the Ocoee massacre came from Orlando. So it's no coinky dink. And them same spirits are still here.
Prepared to be stirred up.
A prevalent theory is that the riot and massacre were not caused by white opposition to black voting rights. Instead, it is believed that the Ocoee massacre was fueled by the false rumor that 2 black men killed 2 white men who had been acting in the capacity of law enforcement officers, which makes sense. Esau be always, you ain't like, nigga, you ain't no cop, you know? 2 Edomites probably trying to boss Jake around and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Hey, well-to-do, boy, what you doing around here, boy? You know?
Yep.
You think you better than me, boy? You know?
That's exact. That's
we
how
don't
it
like
starts.
your kind, boy. You know, you better be out of here by nighttime, boy. You know? You know where you at? And this, that. You can imagine. It says, in the South, black wealth fueled economic jealousy among white communities and was a common cause of lynchings and violence against blacks. In November 1920, Mose Norman, a prosperous African-American farmer, tried to vote but was turned away. By one account, he was turned away for being black. By another, he was turned away because he had not paid his poll tax. The second account is highly unlikely because Norman was among those working on the voter registration drive. And he and other prosperous black men had paid the poll taxes for other black voters.
Yep, that's exactly what the Ocoee massacre
They were
was
trying
about.
to take over Ocoee.
Yeah.
Jake was trying to take over the whole city.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, hell nah. Hell nah.
Jake just wanted to vote, man.
It was about to be a Jake over.
Well,
Angered at being turned away at the poll, Norman is rumored to have returned armed with a shotgun and threatened poll workers. That sounds like Jake, a 2/3 nigga, you know? A well-to-do Jake, you know? Nigga, you know who I am? I got 50 acres over there and this, that, and the third, you know?
Yep.
I know the senator. I know, you know Jake, you know?
That's Jake all day, man.
Angered at being turned away at the poll, Norman is rumored to have returned armed with a shotgun and threatened poll workers, but whites beat him up and took his gun away. Norman went to the home of Julius July Perry, another well-off black man who owned a home and property in Ocoee, and the two men visited Republican Judge John M. Chaney in Orlando, who had assisted them with the voter registration drive. Again, Jake, you know who I am? I know the judge.
Yeah.
I know the judge in Orlando. Jake
Yep.
is full of themselves. But this is not your rest.
Looking for
The
help.
Lord brought judgment. That was his judgment.
Yeah.
You weren't brought here to prosper, man.
Went to help to a nation that can't save them.
Chaney told Norman and Perry to get the names of the poll workers who denied their vote, seeking to distance himself from the growing tensions and curry favor from whites. Again, Uncle Tom, always a sellout, always a snitch. You always got one. What's his name from Django?
I don't know, but Uncle
Steven,
Ruckus type.
Steven.
Uncle Ruckus
Steven.
type. Oh yeah.
Samuel Jackson.
Yep.
You always got a Steven. Seeking to distance himself from the growing tensions and curry favor from whites. A black ex-slave, had to be a nigga, slave too. Burley Jones, can't make this shit up, spread a false rumor to his former master that armed blacks were gathering at the home of July Perry. This account was believed because its source was a black man. So Esau believed because Jake told him. He said they picking up arms around by Jerry house. 30 niggas about to have a lynch mob, you know?
They loading up.
Thereafter, some white Ocoee residents were deputized by Orange County Sheriff Deputy Clyde Pounds and charged with arresting Julius July Perry and Mose Norman. Two white men, Elmer McDaniels and Leo Bogard, were read down. Skip around. Get to the main juicy point. I gotta read it to tell the story. It said two white men, Elmer McDaniels and Leo Bogard, were killed by friendly fire when resident Sam T. Salisbury led a group of white men, Lincoln, likely including Klansmen, to surround July Perry's home. The group fired wildly into the Perry home, killing McDaniels and Bogard, and also wounded Perry and his 19-year-old daughter, Carthia. So they surrounded the home, shot the bitch up, and they friendly fire on some Edomites, man. Norman was not at Perry's home and was able to escape before the mob returned after his home. Norman was not at Perry's home and was able to escape before the mob arrived at his home. Local whites would later report that there were 37 armed blacks at Perry's home when the white citizens arrived, which was a lie. There was 37 niggas over there and they all had shotguns and rifles and shit. According to Perry's nephew, however, the only people at the Perry home were Perry, his wife, their children, and two hired hands. So they completely lied.
Yeah.
And he was well-to-do, so it would make sense that he had some guards. So it was his wife and children and the guards.
And they lied to get a larger mob to go with them, man.
The sheriff report and detailed funeral home records confirmed that McDaniels and Bogart were killed by the armed white men. So the 2 white men that died died from friendly fire.
They died from friendly fire, and they
But
blamed
of
it
course,
on
when they told the story, they changed it around.
Wow.
Nonetheless, the massacre was fueled by the false rumor that 2 black men killed 2 white men who had been acting in the capacity of law enforcement officers.
So,
Reinforcements from Orlando and Orange County were called upon, contributing to a mob that laid waste to the African American community in northern Ocoee and eventually Lynch and Perry, Salakia. I know you've been in Winter Garden. You ever worked out in Winter Garden? You know you see where Jake is at in the hood.
yeah.
Why do you think that is the way it is? That's how Ocoee was. Just like a Popka. So Jake would be in the hood.
Always in the hood. Come.
But to this day, Winter Garden is still the same way. You got the affluent community all around Winter Garden, and then you got the hood right
The
there.
hood is
a
right
little,
there.
little old spot, you know? You know?
yeah, it's like a little dunk off.
That's
man.
how Florida, that's how America was. So it says, reinforcements from Orlando and Orange County were called upon, contributing to a mob that laid waste to African American community in northern Ocoee and eventually Lynch and Perry, who was in custody at the Orange County Sheriff's Office. So how he got lynched if he was in custody at the Sheriff's Office?
Same way Epstein hung himself under surveillance and supervision.
No, it was worse. It gets worse. Shooting and taking his body back to Orlando. So they hung him, they shot him, and they took him back to Orlando, where he was hanged from a light post to intimidate other black people. So they hung him, they shot him, brought him back to Orlando, strung him and hung him all over again to put fear in Jake.
Dang.
And you know that means they had to hang him like in Paramore, because that's where Jake was in Orlando. Because all Orlando wasn't built up yet,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Remember, Pine Hills used to be the where the rich white Edomites was. Those houses in the 3 with the basements and shit, and up in Pine Hills, those
Yeah.
were the mansions back then. You'll see that they got the Roman columns and shit. You see them. They old houses now, but you can see those are the affluent houses, man.
Yeah,
Jake was living in like Paramount, College Park.
It's a decent amount of them.
So it says Norman escaped, never to be found. Hundreds of other African Americans fled the town. We saw the results in 1930.
They knew what was coming.
Leaving behind their homes and possessions, they went up north. You know they went north.
Yep.
The white mobs burned at least 25 black-owned homes, 2 churches, and a black fraternal lodge. See, Jake was in the Masons. See, ain't no new thing
No
under
new
the
thing
sun.
under the sun. Jake still.
It's gonna happen. Through the spirit, it's gonna happen again. Cause you best believe a race war is coming to America. Class wars, race wars, but Esau all you well-to-do Jakes, Esau gonna get your ass, man.
Damn right.
You black alumni, you
Yep.
know?
Yep.
Oh, I graduated from FAMU. I'm a rattler.
I'm cool. Graduated cum laude.
You a cool
I'm-
by y'all. It's the last sentence. Most people living in Ocoee don't even know that this has happened there, said Pamela Schwartz, chief curator of the Orange County Regional History Center, which sponsored an exhibit on it. For almost a century, many descendants of survivors were not aware of the massacre that occurred in their hometown.
Yeah. Hey, and critical race theory, man.
Look at Jake. Look at Jake.
Jake
Swag. Got the swag.
Jake smooth.
Yeah, he had the hat on. Jake, you was doing good.
Yeah.
He probably was a sharecropper. And, you know,
Yeah, Jake. Hey, but what did Jake do, man? You know, Jake depended on a nation that doesn't have his back, man.
matter of fact, we right by where it happened. If you take this trail, they got like a wilderness part. You can ride around the lake. You can see where they was at. You never did it, but if you'll see the land. And what's all around with the land that they stole now? All type of fucking subdivisions.
Yep.
That was Jake land, man.
Yep.
Gated communities and shit, golf courses and shit. You know?
Hey, well, that's what he does.
That's the history of America. It's a bloody, violent history, especially in Florida. Again, Florida was a whole sundown state. Fucking sundown town. Again, the KKK capital was in Florida.
Yep. Yeah.
That movie, 21 with Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson.
Remember, they
Jackie
showed
Robinson.
you, that wasn't that long ago. They showed you, he was in Sanford.
Sanford, yeah.
And they was racist as fuck.
So, hey, so we gave y'all a little history lesson on the Ocoee massacre, you know?
But that, receipts on this devil. His modus operandi. His works do follow him. He's a one-trick pony.
But that was his blessing, man.
Now you
the
bring
sword,
out the Nahum and all, you know.
yeah, the sword was his blessing. Matter of fact, I'll bring it. I'm still holding it.
I didn't finish Micah either. Matter of fact, let me finish Micah.
Yep. Micah got a lot of meat.
Yeah, going back to Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Again, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it. Yeah, the judge was in on it. The sheriff was in on it. You know?
Yep. Yep.
Then tomorrow night, we're going to go over there and lynch them niggers. We're going to wait till they get drunk, you know?
That's exactly what they did. I was just thinking that a base man, they went over there and shot their own people, man.
He's Esau.
Esau. You
see
friendly
it,
fire.
You see it in the movies and shit too.
He done cheddar bombed himself.
Yeah, the niggers did it. The niggers, there were 37 of them niggers. Expert shit. I think they might have been Buffalo Soldiers.
You can't make this stuff up. Hey, what they say? Reality is stranger than fiction, man. You can't make this stuff up, man. In the history books.
And
Jesus.
they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
And that's ultimately what happened, okay? That was the outcome of the Ocoee massacre. They took houses, they took land, they took resources.
They took the whole city back.
They took it all.
They burnt down the businesses, they burnt down the homes. They instilled fear in the surrounding Jake and the other cities.
Yep. Yep. That's what they do. That's their MO.
And now they talk about they got generational wealth. How is that generational wealth established?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know your great papa lived here and lived, but
Yep.
yeah, my great papa lived there and my papa and his papa, I'm the fourth generation. Yeah, nigga, but who was there before your great papa?
Yep. And how did your great papa acquire that land and them resources, man? Only one way. By the sword. The brother brought out that Alexander started the trend.
Khan.
You know what I mean? He started the trend.
And that goes against the scriptures.
Khan.
You got anything?
No.
So this is Proverbs 22 and 28. Matter of fact, I'll start at Deuteronomy 19 and 14 because it's in the law. It's the law. You call yourself a God-fearing nation, it's part of the law.
Yep.
Deuteronomy 19 and 14. Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark.
Yep.
What's another word for a neighbor's landmark? It's fence. That's why you put a fence, to establish the boundaries. This right here is my land. Over there, that's your land.
Borders. Yep.
Borders.
Yep.
But borders have fences. Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark, which they of old time have set in thine inheritance, which thou shalt inherit in the land that the Lord Yahweh thy power giveth thee to possess it.
Hey, and that's a beautiful point because the Heavenly Father has set up landmarks, and every nation, every land has resources. So
He blessed all the nations and put them in their own lands. That's in the Apocrypha.
exactly.
He divided the lands according to Adam. He gave all the nations their land. He gave Jerusalem, Yasharallah, Israel, Jerusalem, he gave us the choicest land, the
Yep.
best land, but he gave Moab their land, he gave Esau their land, he gave Ammon their land, Japheth their land, Ham their land. He gave everybody their lands. But the white man called himself going around and taking all their lands. And it started with the Greeks.
The Greeks.
They were the first nation to do that.
Yeah. And if each land and each nation has their own resources,
They
it
call it-
forces each other, all the other nations, to work together peacefully. Okay? So the Heavenly Father set up a perfect map, a perfect process. All right? What were you gonna say?
No, they call it military campaigns, military conquest.
Yep.
No, I call it land thievery.
Land theft. Exactly.
They destroy the men, they rape the women and children, take all the resources, take all the spoils, you know, and govern over the land.
Yep. That's what they
And
do.
make the people tributaries, slaves.
Yep. That's exactly what they do.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 27, verse 17. Cursed be he that removeth his neighbor's landmark. And all the people shall say, Amen.
Hey, and Esau is definitely cursed. He's definitely cursed. And you're witnessing all these curses fall upon him now. This is why all the other nations are looking at America, okay, in an unjust way. They're seeing the wickedness, they're seeing the thievery, they're seeing the lies, they're seeing the hypocrisy, okay? And they're being called out on it. And like I said before, these nations, these other nations are doing what? They're leaning towards these brick nations for help, for resources. To what? To go up against the whore. Ultimately, America.
Nahum chapter 3, verse 1. Woe to the bloody city. Woe means destruction. Woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery.
Yeah, all full of lies. The way this country, this land was acquired, okay, the light that Esau paints the Lord's chosen people in, okay?
Let's look at your monetary system. Your monetary system is a big fraud.
A debt system.
Full of lies.
Yeah,
You're being defrauded every which way you go. You're being defrauded when you get your daily wage, which is not even a daily wage because you don't get paid. Most people don't get paid daily. Most people get paid weekly or bi-weekly, which is against the scriptures.
yep,
Because you're supposed to be getting paid. You're supposed to get paid daily, according to the Bible.
yep,
So that's a lie and a deceit. And then on top of that, you getting hit, you getting robbed, coming and going. All type of taxes coming out your paycheck. Then you're gonna pay taxes at the grocery store. You're gonna pay taxes at the end of the year. You're gonna pay taxes on your house. You constantly being defrauded, raped.
constantly.
Not to mention you're not even getting paid with real money.
Jesus.
You getting paid with debt. How the fuck you gonna pay me with debt? Real money is something tangible, something you can hold in your hands. Real money, silver, gold, land, livestock, that's money. Not paper money. Matter of fact, if you look on it, it says debt-bearing notes.
Oh man.
At one point, the dollar was actual money. You could exchange the dollar. You can go down to your local bank and exchange your actual dollars for gold and silver. It was on the gold standard, the silver standard. They did away with that a long time ago with the advent of the Federal Reserve. So now it's just ones and zeros on a computer screen.
Funny money.
It's monopoly money.
It's funny money.
Hey, I'm gonna show you how it's fraud and lies. Hey, say I want to buy a car, right? My dream car is a Corvette or something like that, right?
Right.
Say it's 100,000. I say, you know what? I'm gonna save up my money, my dollars, and get me that Corvette cash money. So I go online, I look, oh, how much is it? 100,000. Okay, 100K. Cool. I finally get 100K. 10 years back, 10 years later, 5 years down the road. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Sir, good sir, I'd like to buy me that Corvette. Now it's 200K. How, Sway? How, Sway? How? I've been laboring. I've been working. I've been getting money. I checked it last. It was 100. Because you're not using real money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the money that you are using is constantly being devalued. That's why everything is going up. Talking about inflation. It's not the dollar's losing its strength.
Yep.
That same dollar that don't get you as far as it used to.
Exactly.
It's losing its value. It's not that things are more valuable. The cars are fucking cheaper. Pieces of shit. They don't last. The average new car not gonna take you 50,000 miles. The drivetrains are fucked up. It's all over social media. These houses, these new homes, they're poorly constructed. You're better off getting you an old home that was built with care, actual good resources and material.
Yeah.
So how the fuck are the homes and the cars going up? Because the dollar's losing its strength.
Exactly.
So you telling me this same fucking steak that I got 2 years ago, it's better now than 2 years ago?
Not at all.
These same fruits and vegetables, the same gas, make it make sense. But the average stupid ass American doesn't understand money.
Hell, the average American don't understand economics.
They don't understand interest. They don't understand principle. The Babylonians are completely dumbed down. And you could thank your food system for that. The food system make you think you're smart. Because you pass some fucking tests. Because you're on the goddamn dean's list. Or you're on the honor roll. But you ain't got no goddamn common sense. You lack critical thinking skills.
Tell me about it.
You don't ask questions. Who, what, where, when, how. You forgot how to do that. You just gobble up whatever this devil feeds you.
That's fact.
You got it, man. I do what you do to me. You got it. Just drop
Yeah,
it on
yeah,
your
yeah.
lap. You got it, You be dropping that shit. You be going on a rant.
You had started that.
You be going on a rant and then drop. You got it. What, nigga? You got what? Where we at?
I was like, I left that.
We in Timbuktu.
I left him holding something. I don't remember what it was. Hopefully he got it. It says,
Salaki. You gotta have fun with this, man.
God, Nahum 3:1. I was holding it, but
I read it already.
I brought it out.
I literally just read that. Woe to the bloody city, it's all full of lies.
God.
That's what last thing I read.
It says,
Go into what you was gonna go into. Cause we winding down. We shifting gears again. Down
all right,
shift. Go to what you was gonna go into.
yeah. So anyway, all of everything that's taking place ultimately is leading to war. That's the conclusion of everything. The dollar being devalued.
The conclusion of the matter, right?
The conclusion of the matter. All right. Esau doing all this manner of wickedness to these nations, lying, the stealing of resources. All of it is leading to war. All right. It's all leading to war. And I just wanted to kind of touch on
real quick.
You got it.
Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 5. Thus saith the Lord Adawan Yahweh, an evil and only evil, behold, is come.
God.
And what does the word evil mean?
Bad time, man.
Bad time. Eve meaning time, ill meaning bad. So bad time. Times are bad.
Yep.
And that's the times that we're living in.
God.
Homelessness is rampant. I don't know if y'all went downtown Orlando lately, but it's it's horrific, man.
Mm-hmm.
Especially on a Sunday afternoon. Go down Lake Eola on a Sunday afternoon and see what you find. See what you find. See if you find a farmer's market. See if you find families holding hands, strolling. Or see if you find a goddamn homeless encampment.
Mm-hmm.
Stretching for blocks.
Hey, days away.
And that's not just an anomaly in Florida. That's in all these major cities. Homelessness is rampant. Matter of fact, on social media, there's a whole genre of videos of the working homeless. People living in cars and working.
Yep. Yep.
Why is that? How can you be working and earning a daily wage, but you can't fucking survive, have a house? Because you're not earning a substantial wage. Matter of fact, the term for it is called stagflation. Look it up, Google it. Stagflation. Stagnant wages when inflation and everything else. Everything is going up. Cost of living, utilities, everything going up but your goddamn wages. Called stagflation. And all this is all these terms this devil uses trying to hide the fact that the economy's collapsing. Oh, shrinkflation, shrinkflation. What? The fuck is shrinkflation? It's showing you the dollars being devalued. The same bag of chips Doritos used to get, now it's half empty, filled with air.
Filled with air.
But these people so simple, they go to the grocery store, they don't pay it no mind.
Hey.
The shit, instead of...
You open the bag of Doritos and you gotta stick your arm in there until your damn elbow to get your first chip because it's
the
damn
packaging is smaller and shit, you know? You can't make it up. I told you, I like coffee. I'm a coffee addict. So I like to get the K-Cups. For those of you that know what the K-Cups are. So there's a particular brand that I get. Let's just say the package usually have 12 K-Cups in it. Motherfucker, I open the package, there's fucking 10 in there. The same package, less K-Cups. I'm like, yo, there had to be an error.
Yeah, it had to be
So
one
I
of those.
bought some more, same shit. That's called shrinkflation. And they so goddamn cheap, instead of changing the packaging, they just said, these niggas ain't gonna figure it out.
They won't figure it out.
But all this is showing that the economy's dying.
Yeah.
These people can't find no goddamn jobs. These millennials can't find no jobs. They got degrees. What the fuck you gonna work at? Oh, you got you a fucking computer engineering degree, huh? What you gonna do with that, Sway?
Well, you got
you gonna go work for a big tech company, huh? Oh, I guess you didn't watch the news. There's a bunch of layoffs. Meta,
Silicon
Valley's through.
Yeah.
Google's through. What's the other one? Man, everything's through. Retail is through. You people are through.
Yeah.
What do we always say? You got motherfucking living 2-3 families in a single family house. Tell me that ain't the definition of through.
Oh yeah.
Auntie and her badass baby kids living with her sister and her badass kids.
Yep.
You pull up in a subdivision, 3-4 cars in a goddamn driveway. 8 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Why they ain't working? People can't afford to get new cars. People can't afford to get their car serviced. This place is through.
Through.
Look at she knows it's through. She looked away.
This is
She came by the lake to escape. I'm like, fuck, reality.
those Israelites. Yeah. It's through.
Yo, they say the average new car payment is $700, bro. The average new car payment is $700.
Jeez.
That's not even counting your insurance.
Jesus. $700. Matter of fact, that's right.
Of course it's right.
One of my
You doing the math?
Nah.
Oh shit! Yeah, nigga didn't tell me you make paying $750.
Yeah, one of my an associate at work was saying that his son got his son got a Camaro, one of those, I guess, Camaro, and he pays like $600 a month on top of insurance, man.
Bro, that was a fucking. When I first came to Florida, that was an apartment, bro. That was a 1-bedroom apartment, and they had specials.
Yeah.
First and last month free. You know, no moving deposit. Them days are long gone.
Long gone. I paid $750 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, man. Jesus. Long gone. And they're not getting better.
I didn't even mention AI. Allegedly, AI taking your jobs too. This place is through.
Oh yeah. AI taking a lot of jobs. This is Ecclesiastes
What do we
12.
always say? You got a lot of these millennials still living at home. Can't afford to move out.
How can they? How can they?
Brad's 24 years old, still in the same goddamn room he grew up in.
You gotta be making
Still got Minecraft posters on the wall and shit.
You gotta be making 70, 80,000 to move out of your parents' house, man.
You better have a roommate.
Yeah.
That's the only way you move it out.
Yep. Gots to have a roommate. It says,
Lock it, man. I be having too much fun over here, bro. Especially with these. You be through.
for real. This is Ecclesiastes 12. It reads, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not.
While remember now thy creator. Who's your creator? God. And guess what? God ain't good all the goddamn time. God ain't all love. If God was good all the time, if God was all love, why do bad things happen? Oh, I guess that's outside of the realm of God, huh? Bad things, evil things, that must be outside of God. Oh, I guess bad things happen when God goes to sleep, huh? You big dummy. Good and bad comes from God.
Good and evil, Khan. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth.
So now is the time to remember the Lord, to seek the Lord while he may be found. Now is the time to repent while the doors of mercy are still open. But the average person, they not going to take heed, just like they didn't take heed in the time of Noah. And what happened to those people that discarded Noah's message? They died in the flood.
Yep.
They died grievous deaths. And that's what's coming to most of these people.
While the evil days come not.
They not even, the evil days are here.
They here.
The evil days are here.
Yeah. They're here.
Do you hear some of these horrific judgments that's going out? Oh, the brother prophesied. He talked about the car pileups. That's all I've been seeing. 30 car pileup, 50 car pileup,
Yeah.
2 dead, 9 dead.
Yeah.
The brother prophesied.
We had a decapitation, man, here in Volusia County on
Yo, the spirits that are created for vengeance, it's all type of judgment if you go on social media. So much, I don't even post it anymore. Motherfuckers becoming numb to it.
yeah, that's what they are. They're becoming numb to it. You're right.
But guess when you're not going to be numb to it? When it's at your front door. When judgment is knocking on your door. When judgment is on your ring cam.
It says, nor the years draw nigh when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them.
That's the time we're coming into. Man, you're going to be praying for death. Death is going to be mercy.
Yeah. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinding cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened.
And that's the times that we're in. Don't you go on social media? Don't you go on TikTok? Don't you go on Instagram? Don't you go on X? Don't you go on YouTube? Don't you see all these layoffs? Don't you see all these people complaining about finding a job? How they've been looking for 8 months, a year? Don't you see how to get everybody doing DoorDash, Grubhub, Lyft, Uber? Everybody trying to you gotta have a side hustle. That's what you gotta do in the big 2026. You gotta have a side hustle. And guess what? The side hustle is enamored with workers. The gig economy is flooded.
Flooded.
Why is it flooded? Because everybody's struggling. Everybody tapped out. Everybody said, you know what? I think I'm gonna just do a couple deliveries today so I can pay my phone bill.
Hey, the funny thing about it is, you don't know how many people are doing deliveries and
I know,
new vehicles,
brother.
man.
I told you the bitches around me, all they do is DoorDash. I be seeing Lexuses pull up, dropping off Burger King. How you drop off a Burger King fucking in a Lexus, nigga?
Lexus or a Benz.
You need to get your priorities in order.
Tell me about it.
You in a goddamn Jeep Wagonaire, but you doing DoorDash. your priorities are out of whack.
You gotta put on for the gram.
Yeah, you gotta take that picture of the steering wheel, right? You want niggas to see a panoramic room. You want niggas to see the panoramic.
Oh my gosh. It's bad. It is bad. It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low.
And you had a foreshadowing of that during COVID, during the lockdowns. That was a precursor to what's happening. And a lot of those businesses that got shut down during COVID, guess what? They never came back.
Never.
Even more businesses went out. Oh, you got Saks Fifth Avenue, Saks Fifth Avenue, bankrupt. Oh, Bahama Breeze,
Bankrupt.
gone. There's so many staples gone.
Yeah. Yep.
But nothing to see here. The economy's thriving. We making America great again.
Stock market's good. We all right. It says,
If Saks, like the brother mentioned, for Saks Fifth Avenue to go bankrupt, that show you that because it's really the middle class that go to them affluent areas. Like what's that mall, Millennia? The Mall of Millennia.
yeah, Mall of Millennium.
Wait till that shit goes. Niggas gonna be baffled when Millennia closes.
Yeah.
But that's the times that we're living in.
Real quick.
Macy's gone. So many staples gone.
But that
Have you been to Sanford lately? Have you seen the Sanford Mall? What's Sanford Mall?
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, they blaming online retail.
Yeah.
Really? If so, why so many trucking companies closing down? Staple trucking companies, 100-year trucking companies, 80 years. I think I put in the chat the 80-year
Yeah.
truck company.
Yeah, you put it in the
That's
in
a
the chat.
bad sign if trucking is going under. Trucking was the last lifeline that you could always get a reliable job trucking. Anybody would tell you that. You need a job, go trucking. Not no more.
Yep.
This place is through. But nobody's doing the math. Nobody's tallying everything up. They just keep on keeping on like things are normal.
Yeah, the disparity between the rich and the poor is likened to a rubber band. All right, the rich being on one end, the poor on the other end, and the more the gap is spread, the more tension in between, in the middle. Okay, the tension being the economic system. So it's only a matter of time before that rubber band pops.
It's either gonna pop or it's gonna snap back.
Yep. And you see, since DJ Trump been in the presidency, okay, the elite or the super wealthy, the gap has grown tremendously, man. So all the signs are there of this rubber band getting ready to snap, man.
That's who's booming in this economy. The well-to-do. They scooping up shit for cheap, for the low.
Yep.
Mainly these corporations like BlackRock.
Yep.
BlackRock scooping up all these housing through.
Yep.
You know how many houses are on the foreclosure market? And you don't even see half of it because BlackRock and these different companies are scooping them up.
Yep.
You got whole brand new subdivisions that are sitting empty. What?
Yeah.
Years. You drive by that subdivision, it's still empty. Maybe 4 or 5 people living in a subdivision.
Yep.
Subdivision half built. They've been building this shit for 3 years.
They praying they get a neighbor.
That's the reality of things, man.
Because a lot of people buy homes for investments purposes, man.
The Airbnb. That was a hustle.
Oh, that's
Airbnb
over. Is over.
Yeah, everybody, that was a hustle. Why was Airbnb thriving? Because of the lockdowns.
Yep.
Everybody was trying to go to different states, trying to go on vacation. Them days are over.
Yeah. What do they say? They don't have
All
any.
your little avenues to get little money on the side is through.
Yep. No extra funds, man, to enjoy Funland anymore.
No.
That's what it is.
What are they saying? If you got a job, keep it. Hold on to it. Be thankful. Don't quit your job. That's what they saying.
Yep. It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low.
That's going into your alarm clock. Because the bird is what the rooster. Every morning the rooster crows, right? The cock, whatever the fuck they call it, cock-a-doodle-doo,
Yeah.
you know, to let you know to get up. But the times that we're coming into, what you gonna set your alarm clock for? Ain't gonna be no goddamn jobs.
Yep.
That's what the people are finding out now. They getting up every day, 8 o'clock, filling out a bunch of resumes, going on Indeed and shit, and getting no callbacks.
No call back.
Going on 3-4 interviews and not getting a job. That's the reality of the situation.
The reality of the situation is the majority of these companies aren't even hiring, man.
No.
A lot of these applications on these sites are job openings are false. It's all a facade, man.
It's
to
all
hide
a
the
facade.
fact that this place is crumbling.
Exactly.
It's collapsing.
They don't want to panic the people. That's
Yep.
why they're not telling you you're in a recession.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, you've been in a recession. You've been in a recession since 2008. You ain't never got out of it. That's why you had to get bailouts, stimuluses. Everybody was happy. Oh, Trump don't give us $2,000. How's that working out for you?
Yep.
Why would you have to give people stimuluses to stimulate the economy? Because the economy's dead.
Dead. And
Hey.
don't forget to mention all the bank closures.
Oh, banks closing.
The banks are closing
I
like
forgot
crazy.
about Klarna.
Yeah.
Yo, these people drowning in debt. These motherfuckers are putting their lunch on credit, on debt. Yo, this place is through.
Oh man.
I'm gonna go to Chipotle, but I'm gonna use Klarna.
Yeah. Oh man. They done turned fast food into a buy here, pay here
Oh,
solution.
fast food restaurants closing down. Wendy's closing.
Yeah.
Man, this place is through.
Oh man. Hey, and all the expert economists say the writing is on the wall, man. You know, all the expert economists, and the signs
But
are
you
there.
gotta be able to read.
That's
you
all
know,
I
you know,
got.
these new, they can't read. They
Yeah.
can't add, they can't read, they can't write, they can't spell.
Yeah. It's a whole new generation.
That's why AI's on the rise. AI gonna do everything for you.
Oh man. Hey, so you got anything else?
Nah.
Alright, so we're gonna end it there, man. We're gonna end it there. Ottawa and Ratazar, man, Lord's willing, this was an edifying camp, you know what I mean? We went into the history of Ocoee, you know, letting y'all people know that the leopard doesn't change its spots, man. All right, these Edomites are who they are, okay, and they're about to show their true colors, man. So once again, we're gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to our power,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Ba'ashem,
Rakah
Rakah, and a sincere salutations to the hopeful elect, the tabernacle of David, you Akim, pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth, and all truth, faith, and sincerity, and also a healthy shalom to the few Aqua that are listening and learning. Shalom is real.
Wa abad babal.
Kwam Yasharala. Shalom is real. Shalom.